Alright, so I would like to invite everyone in the room to please rise for our opening prayer. Amen. Good afternoon, I'm Ivy De Jesus. I'm competency-based trainer for the qualification of Technical Drafting NC2, and I'm ready to facilitate our learning sessions. Before I start our learning sessions, I have checked our facilities, tools, and equipment based on the occupational health and safety standards. I have also checked all the tools, materials, and equipments for facilities and are complete based on the training regulations of our qualification and will be used in our training sessions, and I'm also ready to use them when I provide the skills demonstration. So again, a pleasant good afternoon to all of you. So for this training duration, you are all enrolled in the qualification technical drafting NC2. And before we start, I have here your attendance sheet. Okay. Attendance sheet and the learner's profile form. Okay, so I will call your names one by one, and as I call your name, please sign the space beside your name in the attendance sheet and verify the contents of your individual's learner's profile form. So in the information sheet provided, okay, please check if it's accurate and please sign above your printed name. So may I call on Mr. Aaron Diaz? Okay, kindly check the information in the form if it's correct and kindly affix your signature. All right, thank you. Next, we have Mr. Mark Anthony Asadon. Okay, thank you everyone. So with that, you are all now officially enrolled in the qualification technical drafting NC2. I would like to welcome all of you to our Regional Training Center, Central Luzon, Guiguinto, and thank you for choosing the RTCCL as your training provider for the qualification of Technical Drafting NC2. And now, before we start the orientation proper, I will be administering first a data gathering instrument. So this is like a sample of data gathering instrument which will be used to determine your trainee's characteristics. These results of this form will provide you as your trainer valuable information on how I will manage the future training sessions based on your specific individual characteristics. So kindly answer this instrument honestly as possible, and you will be provided with 10 minutes to complete this form. Okay? All right, so is everyone finished? Okay, we will be evaluating the results of this instrument after our orientation proper. And now, I will be administering a pre-assessment to all of you. And the purpose of this is just to gauge whether not you have prior learning or experience in the topics that we will be included in the training sessions of our qualification. And also part of this pre-assessment is the self-assessment check, where you will be evaluating yourself whether or not you have the prior knowledge regarding your qualification. So the form will be having an option for yes or no statements to ask yourself if you can perform what is identified in the statements. And another one is a pretest, which is only a diagnostic tool. It is administered to view or to new trainees like you, so to check whether you or not have the background knowledge of qualification. So you will be given about 1 hour to complete this self-evaluation. All right, so is everyone done with their self-assessment? Okay, thank you so much. All right, so nice. Let us now have our orientation. Again, I'm Ivy De Jesus. I will be your trainer for your qualification technical drafting NC2, and our training provider is RTCCL Guiguinto, and also known as our house rules to be followed strictly while you are enrolled in this qualification. All right, so we have this house rule. You have to wear your face mask and face shields. Should be worn while inside the training center. Step on the sanitizing mat upon entry. Temperature check done upon entry. Observe at least 1 meter social distancing, and of course, you have to wash and sanitize your hands. Okay, so let's move on to the next page. Okay, so what is a competency-based training? In a traditional education system, actually it's a unit of progression. Okay, so we have samples here. In traditional education system, the unit of progression is time-based or it is teacher-centered. Okay? In a competency-based training system, the unit of progression is actually the mastery of specific knowledge, and skills are the outcome-based and is learner or participant-centered. Now, next one is the passive. The passive and active learning. So when you say passive, passive learning holds the students responsible for absorbing the presented information in their own terms. And the information may be presented in the form of lectures or assigned readings. In any case, the student is accountable of paying much attention, like asking questions and performing well on the test. While active learning, it involves the student in the instructional process through the use of relevant activities and discussions. So the focus of active learning is actually the quality control, have involvement from the employers, or actually you have the access to the real world, right? So now, lastly, we have facts and memorization and the higher order thinking skills, or the HUDs, if you're familiar with it. So facts and memorization is like the students who are able to think, okay, they think they are those who can apply the knowledge and skills they have learned in the context. While higher order thinking skills is like going beyond the observation of facts and memorization. So they are what we're talking about when we want our students to evaluate or become creative or innovative. Okay, so do you have any questions so far? On our final note? Okay, anyone? I guess not. So on our final note, in competency-based training, you will be experiencing different methodologies and approach in terms of training. Like, for example, you will be experiencing different tools, okay, materials, and lastly, you will be experiencing difference of interacting with some of your classmates or the classroom teacher. All right. So now let's have the roles of a trainer. What are the roles of a trainer or the facilitator, and how is it different from a teacher? So if you may look at the slide, the function to teach is not included. I am here to facilitate, to provide guidance, and provide feedback on your performance and outputs. So I'm here to teach you, but I'm not here to teach you, but rather to guide you and facilitate your progress in learning the skills on the qualification. And now, what about the roles of a trainee? Roles of a trainee of this qualification. So all of you are considered as adult learners. You're not students anymore in this classroom, but you're considered as trainees. You're training and practicing the application of your knowledge, skills, and attitudes as the future employee or entrepreneur of your chosen industry. So now you have the number, like for example, number 1, you have to accomplish what is required. For number 2, you have to present or perform individual tasks. And last, number 3, you are responsible for keeping track of your own progress or your performance. Okay, so now we have, still the roles of a trainee. So here the bottom line is that we must all responsible for our own attitudes and performance within the training center, because all of you are adults and we have different characteristics that must be respected by each one. So these are your roles as a trainee: to complete what is required, to perform the required task, to monitor your own accomplishments, and of course, the most important thing, be responsible. Okay, now let's move to evaluation system. Okay, so we have the institutional, here for the competency-based training delivery approach, we have 2 methods of evaluation. We have the institutional assessment and national assessment. Okay, so for the institutional assessment, it is provided by the training center and by yours truly, the trainer of the qualification, and upon the successful completion of the evidences or requirements in the institutional assessment is the next step is to apply this one, to apply and take the national certification or assessment proper that will be administered by the provincial office of TESDA, wherein upon passing the national assessment, you will be awarded with a national certificate. Okay, that is actually recognized even in other countries and will serve as credential specific to your skills and to having a brighter future in your field of specialization. Okay, so do you have questions so far? All right, thank you. So for those methods of training, okay, so methods of training, you will be experiencing self-paced learning or modular. You will be the one to decide whether or not you are ready to move to other learning modules of our qualification. So we'll be having lectures and discussions. If you will need that, based on the results of your training needs analysis, of course, there will be demonstrations by your trainer, and I will be the one to perform the demonstrations of the skills that are included in our qualification. And in turn, you are required to perform a return, like demonstration and practice. Okay? You will also be given the chance to undergo on-the-job training upon completion of this training duration. Also, we can also use the blended learning modality, wherein we can combine the online approach and the offline approach as methods of learning. So now for the competencies. Okay, we have competencies. For the competencies of the technical drafting NC2, we have the basic, common, and the core competencies. Given the fact that you are adult learners, you have entered and finished formal education, and that is the very least until your secondary education or high school level. So we're now just going to refresh on those competencies that you have already acquired. All right, now let us proceed to core competencies of technical drafting NC2. So it's like we have draft architectural layout and details, prepare computer aided drawings, draft structural layout and details, draft electrical and electronic layout and details, draft sanitary and plumbing layout and details, draft mechanical layout and details. So here are the core competencies, and after successfully acquiring and completing all of these competencies, you will be entitled with a certificate of completion in the technical drafting NC2. So I hope everyone is excited to learn and start the conduct of training of our qualification. All right, so the training duration has a total of 206 hours, including basic and common. And if converted into days, we will be finished in about 43 days. It's actually 8 to 5 p.m. daily. All right, with that, do you have any questions so far? All right, so none? And now, I will be giving you a brief short tour of our CBT facility that we will use in the training and the functions of each area. Okay, so that we are having our training, and I provide you some instructions on where to proceed, okay, during the conduct of the training, and you will already be familiar with the components of the CBT workshop. So here it shows the TESDA Guiguinto. All right, this is our original. Okay, so now we have here actually this is the hold on. Okay, this is our practical work area wherein we are going to practice our skills and perform our task or the job sheets. Okay, for our learning resource area, it provides the learner with the knowledge requirements in the various modules, like you are responding the competency. It's like the place where the projects can be planned, and self-paced learning, okay, is based in this area. Next is our institutional assessment area, wherein we are going to demonstrate the skills that we have already learned or acquired. This is also where we recognize our learning prior by the way of taking a series of tests and something like that to confirm our RPL. Okay, next, here is the contextual learning area. Okay, this facility is actually for underpinning knowledge like science, mathematics, communication principles is applied in this area. Okay, next one we have the quality control area. Okay, so for quality control area, this is actually quality control, right? Okay, this is the you have to take the test aside from your calibration. Okay, they are conducted in this area, including in process of quality control. Okay, next we have the trainers resource area. This area is like the learning materials, the training regulations, and curriculum exemplars. Okay, this is the place where instructors produce courseware of the training material. Okay, so now we have I think this one's the computer laboratory area. Computer laboratory is like of course the use of technology, and this is like the area where the computer units which learners are provided for them to learn and gain the IT competencies that may include Word, Excel, or desktop publishing, or something like that. And the last one we have, okay, what is it? Okay, distance learning. All right, so one of the major issue is like the accessibility. Okay, distance learning, it's actually one of the component to access some of the things. Okay, this is to enable the learning provision outside and away from the training institution in terms of printing or to print or non-print media. Okay, and the last one, the supportive service area. Okay, so this area is it can provide adding competencies such as automotive service, technician like NC2, welding competency, underspinning skills, and particularly competency. Okay, so I hope you can still remember the places that we're going to conduct some of different tasks. Okay, so here we have the sample inside of practical work area, okay, and the institutional assessment area, and here are the list of the areas that we need to know, okay, while we are in the training center. Okay, so do you have questions so far? So this time, I will be providing you with a short break, and let us meet again after 15 minutes. Thank you for attending this orientation. All right, everyone, please settle down. How was your break? I hope you had the chance to familiarize yourselves with our workshop during the break time. So I will call you one by one. Let us start with Mr. Aaron Diaz. Please proceed to the trainer's resource area, where I will be providing you with the feedback on your previously answered forms. The rest, you can wait in this room. Okay, let's go to the trainer's resource area. Where is it? Hold on. Okay, let's go to the trainer's resource area. Mr. Diaz. Okay, Mr. Diaz, based on your accomplished trainee's characteristic, you have a very good language and literacy average. Your results are also show that you are more a visual learner. Regarding your pretest, the score that you have acquired is 10/30. So don't worry about this, since this is just a diagnostic test designed to you only to check whether or not you have the background knowledge on this qualification. Okay, so now let's proceed to the contextual learning area. Here it is. Okay, contextual learning area. So I want you to bring this with you. Okay, bring this with you. And I want you to look at your information sheet, and please read and understand the contents of this sheet, and afterwards try to answer the self-check at the end of the info sheet to the best of your knowledge. When you're done, compare your answers with the answer sheet. Review the information sheet again based on your wrong answers, and then try again to answer the self-check. So please be honest with yourself and do not check the answer key unless you have read the information sheet. Okay? So all right, do you have any questions? If none, I will give you an hour to finish this activity, and you may proceed to our contextual learning area. All right, so now take your seat, and I want you to go here. All right, so based on your accomplished trainee's characteristic, you have a very good language literacy, Mr. Anthony Acedon, and you are already a college graduate. Your results also show that you are more a kinesthetic learner. Then on your pretest, you answered 29 questions correctly out of 30. So that is very good, and it means that you already have prior knowledge regarding your qualification. So in your self-assessment check, you have also evaluated yourself to be knowledgeable in this unit of competency. and is evidenced by your answers, okay, in the pretest. So with that, we will focus your learning on the second unit of competency, which is preparing computer-aided drawings. So to formally recognize your prior learning, you have to demonstrate on how to draft architectural layout and details. Okay, so drafting architectural layout and details, something like this. Okay, so as you can see, we are going to do this, and would you like to undergo the institutional assessment to fully recognize your prior learning? Okay, so with that, Sir Diaz, I will be giving you about 5 minutes to prepare yourself, and then we will be having our institutional assessment. So after 5 minutes, I will meet you at the institutional assessment area. Okay? Okay, so let's move on to Mr. Diaz. I have the performance objective, okay? I have here the performance objective, which is you have to manually draft architectural site development plan, floor plan, ceiling, elevation, and section, and working drawing details. I will give you 3 hours to do it. All right, Sir Diaz, kindly sit down. During your performance, you have shown that you have manually draft architectural site development plan. Okay, let's see your output. Okay, so you have manually draft this architectural layout and details, and now we can recognize your prior learning on drafting architectural layout and details. And with that, as your trainer, I will now provide you your certificate of achievement as evidence of your RPL. Okay, this is for you, Sir Diaz. Congratulations, sir. So here is your certificate, and our next session, starting tomorrow, you will be moving to the next unit of competency, which is prepare computer-aided drawings. Right? So, hello, Sir Diaz. Are you done with your information sheet? Have you answered the self-check? Okay. So how about your score? May I see? All right. Okay. So based on your score, you have answered all correctly. So I just hope that you did not check with the answer key before answering. Okay. Very good. So with that, tomorrow, we will be having our demonstration of skills, and you are to attend the next session in the practical work area, okay, where we will have the demonstration. All right. So now with that, thank you everyone for joining today's session. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye. Okay, for day 2. So everyone, please rise. Let's have our opening prayer before we start. Amen. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of our training. Let's have the attendance first, and kindly sign the attendance. Okay, so you have to affix your signature with this. All right, so please sign the attendance. So for today, we are going to have the demonstration on drafting architectural layout and details. We will now go to practical work area, where I'm going to demonstrate you on how to draft architectural layout and details. Okay, so we are now in the practical work area. Okay, so for here, I already printed the output of the layout and details. So how about you? Do you have questions? All right, so if none, let us have Mr. Asadon. Can you please perform a return demonstration? Okay, please come. All right, very good, Sir Asadon. I observed that you were able to draft the floor plan neatly and in detail. Now, I will provide you with your task sheet. Okay, this is your task sheet for you to practice your demonstration on the first page and then check your output using the performance criteria checklist, like on the next page. Okay, so please proceed to the empty area and start practicing. I will give you 1 hour to perform this task sheet. Okay? So, Mr. Diaz, I saw that you were eager to learn as a draftsman. However, I need you to focus on creating better lines when you are drawing the walls. Okay, so you can use different technical drawing pen or pencil, which like we have the 0.5 for drawing the walls outside the house and 0.3 for inside walls. Okay, I know you can do it. Okay, you can do it. So now, are you finished, Mr. Diaz? Do you think you're ready to perform the institutional assessment? Okay, so before that, I'd like you to get your, okay, look at the achievement chart here. Okay, we have the achievement chart here. I will now check your achievements. So we have Sir Diaz, okay, Mr. Anthony Asadon. All right. So this means that we are now in the last part of our training for our qualification, and we will be having our institutional assessment. Meaning, after successfully completing this evaluation, you may proceed to your application for the national assessment. So first, I will be providing you the written test. Okay, this will evaluate your underpinning knowledge regarding your qualification or our qualification. So this is composed of 30 items in a multiple choice type. Okay, type of test, and you will be given 1 hour to answer that. Okay, do you have any questions? All right, so let me give me your test papers. Okay, thank you. So now we will be having our performance test, and this is a demonstration. Okay, this demonstration is done to evaluate your underpinnings skills. I will be calling you one by one for the performance, and the rest of you may wait in the learning resource area. Okay, so now okay, I will be performing the oral questioning. All right, so what is the most difficult about drafting? Okay, so thank you for your answer. Next, please. Okay, so I can see that you're all good. Okay, and I hope that you can improve your lines when you draw manually. Okay, now I will be calling Sir Diaz for the feedback. Please proceed here at the front. Okay, Sir Diaz, based on the written tests of your score is 30/30, and that is perfect. Very good. Okay, so then you have your performance test, and during the exam, you have clearly demonstrated your skills on the competencies of the qualification. And lastly, based on the oral questioning, you have answered the questions on the demonstration to the best of your knowledge, and your responses were very much satisfactory. So with that, we have proven yourself competent for the qualification of technical drafting NC2. Alright, so I'd like you to sign this rating sheets. Okay, this signifies that you are now ready and qualified to undergo the national assessment on technical drafting NC2. So, congratulations, Sir Diaz. I would like to request that you answer this short feedback form. Okay, please. Feedback form, and your responses will be highly appreciated. It's like for the improvement of the aspects of this training, and I will be treated with utmost confidentiality. All right. So, Mr. Asadon, okay, congratulations as well. You did a good job for drawing this or drafting this architectural layout and detail. So that concludes our technical drafting NC2 training. So the two of you have successfully finished the competencies and you're now ready to take the national assessment for this qualification to receive your national certificate. So congratulations, okay, to both of you. I will now award you this certificate of completion, okay, as well as your certificates of achievement as evidence of your competencies during the training. All right, so here it is. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Please proceed to the assessment center. You have to fill out the necessary forms for the application for assessment. Okay, so thank you for choosing RTCCL Guiguinto as your training center. God bless you and your endeavors, and I hope to see you all soon.